What's up, bro? It's Quan, and I'm gonna talk to you. Uh, I'm gonna speak on the Young Dolph situation just for a second, man. And if you don't know who Young Dolph is and what's happened, then you're either not probably into the hip hop scene. Young Dolph is a rapper out of Memphis, a legendary rapper out of Memphis, and he was gunned down a few years back, and his murder trial started yesterday. Uh, and a lot of people support and love Dolph, not just because of the rap, because a lot of people say how he gave back to the community, how he was a genuine guy, and all this stuff, right? I mean, he died at a cookie shop in his hometown getting cookies on his way to do a turkey drive, um, or on the way to set up a turkey drive and stuff. So, I'll give you a quick story so I can get to my point. So the story is, Dolph and his brother was standing inside a cookie shop. He had $100,000 price or bounty on his head, right, from a rival group, right? And before I get to that, everybody in this story that has something to do with his death is either dead or going to prison for their life. Just to let you know that. He's at a cookie shop with his brother. The people who's hired to kill him spotted him in traffic, followed him to the cookie shop, hopped out, shot him over 20 times, ran back to their car and sped away. Well, after all the investigation goes on, they find out the killers, they find out who's orchestrated it, and they find out who put the money up, who put the $100,000 up to make all this go. The guy who put the $100,000 bounty on his head was killed. 99% sure in retaliation. He was killed. So there's 3 guys left. There's the 2 shooters, and then there's one guy who recruited these 2 shooters, right? So the guy who recruited these 2 shooters was supposed to get paid $20,000, and the guys who actually did the killing, it was 2 guys, they were supposed to get paid $40,000, right? The guy who actually killed him, he only received $800, right? He didn't get his $40,000. Go figure, right? And the reason being that they're saying he didn't get the money because it was too hot, quote unquote, it was too hot out, and he didn't want to give him the money, right? So that's that. So these guys go to jail pretty fast after this murder happens. I'd say within that year, I think they were at least one of them was in jail, right? Now I'm not gonna get into their beef. I'm not getting into the street stuff or nothing. I would just say that fellas that's in the streets, females too that's in the streets, we see this time and time again. We see murder for hire, or a murder happen. We see people throw their lives away for nonsense, for beefs that a lot of beef is inherited. You're beefing with this guy and you have no direct influence, knowledge, you have relationship, nothing. It's just an inherited beef. One of your homies mad at one of his homies, and one of their homies is mad at one of your homies, and now you have to beef with these people you don't even know. And it gets so far as bloodshed and harm, and shots are fired, and people are hurt, and people go to jail, prison, or even a death, or even a graveyard, all because something is inherited, and you and yours aren't able to differentiate when we need to stop, when it needs to be reconciled, when we just need to cut our separate ways. That man that killed Dolph, that was supposed to get $40,000, he sat on that stand and said he didn't even know that man. He didn't even know him. He knew that he was the rapper Dolph, but he didn't have a personal relationship. He's never met him or anything. He was asked, what was you thinking about when you was on your way to kill him, when you shot him, when you fled? What were you thinking about? That's what the prosecutors asked, and he said, I wasn't thinking about nothing really. I was just thinking about getting some money. Now, men in the streets, black men especially, do not ever tell yourself you are at the point to where the only way you can get a large sum of money is by taking another man's life. That man took that man's life on his daughter's birthday. He went out to murder, shoot, kill somebody on his daughter's birthday. His daughter's sitting at home, probably enjoying a birthday party, and daddy is out here running around trying to complete a murder for hire to a man that he doesn't even know, with the assumption that somebody's going to give him $40,000. He was a junkie. He's a drug addict. In court, he says he was addicted to oxycodone, probably Percocet to Roxy's. He was addicted to Percocets and ecstasy. Hold on, my homeboy pulling up with a motorcycle. It's going to get loud for a second. Yeah. I didn't say it was a new bike. It's got it needs a little work done to it. But back to the story. So honestly, oh yeah, and after the prosecutor asked him what was he thinking, he responded with, I was just trying to get some money. The prosecutor said that you will probably spend it all on oxycodone and ecstasy. And he's right. Now, I will say that the dude who shot Dolph, he said he's battling real bad depression and all these things because he had a 9-year-old son that's no longer with us. And I don't know the feeling of losing a child. And I pray to the gods above and whoever hears me and listens that I never have to experience that. That can drive someone into a drug addiction. That could drive someone into, I have nothing else to lose. But that's not fair to say, because you still have other children. You still have your obligation and duty as a father and as a man, as a son, as a brother, as an uncle, as a citizen. Men, especially in the streets, do not ever get yourself to the point to where the only way you think you can make a lump sum of money is taking another man's life. Because it's going to sound crazy, but there are a lot of people out there who has thought about doing something detrimental to somebody, myself included. Not murder for hire, but something went on in your life and you could have really hurt somebody if it came down to it. And hopefully you didn't, and then hopefully as time passed, you're thankful that you didn't do it and you learn and you grow from it. Because one, lump sums of money is not the end of your world. It's money. You use your brain and your resources and your relationships and your hustle and anything else you have to go get you some money, man. Life is not a get rich quick scheme. I know we see the get rich quick on the internet and somebody's telling you have a 9 to 5 and I don't know what you're doing, but while you're at your 9 to 5, I made $12,000 a day. That's not going to be every person, right? And a lot of those people are lying. You know how they make that money every day? By finessing you, telling you if you purchase something for them, you'll show them how to make $9,000 in a day. A lot of those people are lying. But don't you ever get to the point to where you think you have the authority and the right to take another man's life that isn't that hasn't put your life in danger, or your children's life, or your family's life in danger. The law of the universe is weird, and a lot of people get on, and now he's in a courtroom telling the whole story. How he was recruited, how he went up, how he shot these people, how it happened, how they got to car, how they got there, how they shot them, how they left, what they did after that, how they didn't receive the money, who they talked to, who else is involved, and all this stuff. And now there's 5 lives that are pretty much going to be dead. Dolph's dead. Big Juke, the one who put the money up, is dead, and the other 3 are going to prison for the rest of their lives. And the only people that are going to remember them is their family, because social media is going to get past it, and they're still going to rest in peace Dolph. But for the killers, you're going to have a long, long, long time of living off the land, of fighting, of smuggling cigarettes, asking people for money, hopefully somebody putting money on your books, and you're going to get forgotten about. And your children are going to grow up, and your family's lives are going to move on. And your mothers and your fathers and your grandparents one day are going to pass, and you're not going to be there. And your children are going to grow up, and they're going to go on to high school, and they're going to go on to get families of their own, and to get married, and to have children. They might battle things of their own. They might battle depression and anxiety, and they might have to deal with public stuff because their father is the man who killed Dolph. And all these things are going on, and you're going to be locked behind a jail cell because of your own actions, and won't be out here in the free world to protect and provide for your family and your seed. I promise you, man, look bigger than the things you see, because the streets that you're standing on and that you ride on, that's not the whole world. There's a big world out here, and there's a lot of opportunity, and there's a lot of money out here in this world. But if you can't see past your hood, you're just not going to see it. That man was battling a drug addiction, and I'm pretty sure his drug addiction had some type of fuel in this. And I'm pretty sure that if he would have calmed down and looked at what's going on, he would have realized this is BS. Because not only do I got to kill a man, I got to rely on some man to bring me $40,000 that does not even fucking know me. You know what the kicker is? After he got arrested and he still didn't get his $40,000? They sent his lawyer $50,000. Sent his lawyer $50,000. Nobody won, and nobody's going to win. Just like in the streets, nobody's going to win. You don't win. You do not win. You might win. You might think you won a little battle, but you didn't. Because it's not meant to win. It's meant to lose and inflict as much pain and despair and destruction as possible. And it's meant to corrupt the minds of the masses, apparently, especially in poverty, into thinking that this is the way, this is normal. Nobody wins in that Dolph situation. So, if you're battling the streets, if you're battling drug addiction, if you're battling money problems, if you're battling self-identity problems, reach out to someone, speak to someone, get some kind of help, man, because You're bigger than the streets. You're bigger than the guns. You're bigger than the drugs. You're bigger than the fast money. You're bigger than all that. There's a lot of things you can do out this world. Give yourself time to grow and heal and learn a skill, a trade that you want to do that you can monetize and turn into money. Because there's YouTubers who make $40,000. You can make $40,000 with a job and a side hustle. It's gonna be hard to make $40,000 when you murder somebody on camera. It's Quan, I'm out of here.